All right, well, firstly, just like to say a big thank you to Jersey and to the team at Digital Home Systems for allowing us the opportunity to present to you today. What we're going to be talking about today is obviously about a nice group on a global level, and also the products and that we can offer as well. So without any further ado, we'll get this started. So yeah, nice to meet you all, and thanks for listening in. So who are we? Nice as a group. Basically, with our vision, a world without barriers. What we want to do is connect everybody and make life a lot easier for all of us moving forward. So whether it be smart home, home automation, home security, which we can't do here in Australia, but it's another story, through a various range of different platforms and connectivity. How do we do that? Simplifying everyday movements. So nice from the outset, we've chosen to build its own distinctive identity in a scenario characterised by the constant repetition of ever more cloned products and services. We believe our customers are best won and their loyalty best secured by the brand. So we believe brand identity comes before everything, even before the products and services, and it provides a basis for solid foundations in the long run. First step for NICE was to define its mission statement, designing a nice world. How? By simply improving the quality of people's lives, simplifying our everyday movements. NICE offers the security to come and go freely, responding to the desire for comfort without practical products. With practical products with an emotional design. We can sum all this up with this mission with one nice word: openability. So the nice world, we operate in over 120 countries globally, whether that be through a distributor or a direct subsidiary such as ourselves. We've got 14 industrial manufacturing plants throughout the world, and 13 for R&D, or centres of technology. So one of those is obviously here in Australia, which we manufacture industrial gate motors. So we employ over 2,300 people globally, and you can see a big proportion of that is R&D, so about 13% of the employees. So we invest heavily in our R&D. So some of the centres for technology or R&D labs, we've got Italy, obviously, which is our head office, where most of the nice products are from. We've got Germany, which manufactures industrial door motors, as well as Ellard, which is more based on the tubular motors. And then others, you've got Brazil, which focus on access control, USA, which is high security, Canada, which focuses on, again, access control, garage doors, South Africa on high speed, and Poland, obviously, with Fibaro. So NICE as a partner. So we look to a lot of our partners, if you like, by way of contractors, whether that be a designer, an architect, consultants and what have you. You can see there some of our key projects that we've done throughout the world. Some of our local ones, the Ritz-Carlton of late in Perth, where we had about 1,200 off the top of my head of our era in-range tubular motors. We've got some major projects with gate motors going on here in Sydney, on the industrial side as well. Royal Hobart Hospital, and the under construction Crown Casino here in Sydney. So some of the key features that NICE can offer you, BlueBus, is basically a proprietary system where instead of having a traditional 4-wire setup, we allow up to 7 photo cells, if you like, or 6 different types of accessories. So whether that be a keypad, photo cells, or it could be a flashing warning light, you can have all these wired into one terminal on the control board via 2 wires, not in polarity conscious. So what does that mean for you as the installer? Time. Saves you a lot of it. So there's a sample setup. So you can see on the top there, we've got 3 sets of photo cells, 4 wires, it can be all quite time consuming wiring all that back in. And you can see at the bottom there, connecting via BlueBus, 2 wires, all run in parallel, all into one terminal on our control boards. So there's a lot of time saving there for you. There's some sample photo cells, EPMB, which is just our standard photo cells via BlueBus, and our EPM-OB, which is allows a little bit more flexibility in regards to lining up the lenses. There's the same sort of photo cells, just with aluminium casing, and that just helps for, I suppose, a little bit of vandal resistance. So our swing gates rather, solutions, what we can offer you in that respect. So starting with our tuner range. So we've got, in this particular range, 3 versions: our tuner 4 up to a 3 meter gate, tuner 5 to a 5 meter gate, and tuner 7 up to a 7 meter gate. Some of the key features and benefits is very easy in regards to being able to manually release the gate. Quite critical if you've got a power outage. You want to be able to open the gate if need be. The finish on it is quite universal and quite robust, having a polyester finish. The connections are quite easy to get to in regards to connecting from the power board, the control board. It's all on top, very easy to access. And here's some of the installation limits. So as I mentioned before, you've got our tuner 4 to our 3 meter gate, which will do up to about 300 kilos. Our tuner 5 up to a 5 meter gate leaf, around 250 kilos, or you can bring it back to a 3 meter gate as well, but you can see there it will do a little bit more than a tuner 4. And then you've got our big boy in the tuner 7, up to a 7 meter gate or 700 kilos at that point. You can do a 4 meter gate, which will do roughly about a ton. So they are quite robust. So yeah, we've got our tuner 5, which is a high speed. You can see how quick that is. I think that's supposed to be a quarter of a meter, yeah, 0.255 meters, 0.25 meters, not millimeters per second. Same again with the tuner 6. So a 6 meter gate up to 1,450 kilos. So again, quite robust and quite quick. So the control units for these, some of the key benefits are, again, the BlueBus, as I mentioned before. It is compatible with Opera and Solemio. So what Opera is basically our proprietary access system with remote control. Solemio is basically our name for a solar kit, so it can be run off solar as well. The housing will enable you to put in a battery backup as well, so it makes it quite simple. And the OXIBD plug-in receiver card for our remotes. We've got 2 different programming levels, so just a basic and a more advanced level, with different inputs and outputs all being configured via our handheld programmer called the OView, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. And you can see there, as far as standby, uses next to no power, just 0.1 of a watt. So this is a bit of an overview of the control board that runs the tuner motors. Very easy to use. You can see at the top left there, you've got the LED lights, which basically allows you, gives you the configuration, letting you know what is working, what's not, and what you've got wired in, the timings, etc. And obviously, you can manually operate the gate via those buttons there as well. Next to that, you've got the IBT4N plugin, which allows you to use either the OView, as I just touched on, or our app, the IT4 Wi-Fi. This is backwards compatible with a lot of our older generation motors as well. So just want to also touch on the left side there. as I just highlighted, that's your inputs there for a dry contact. So you've got your 24 volt power, as well as your normally open and normally closed contacts. So any system that has a dry contact output can be able to wire into our motors via these inputs. I know that Jersey will talk on the Fibaro a little bit later on. And there's a bit of an installation diagram with the tuners. So geometry is quite critical to make sure that you get the gate to open and close the way it should and quite freely. And you'll see through on the left side there's a dark line through the middle of that little triangle, the RIL. That's what we refer to quite simply as our recommended install level on how to get the gate to open to the degree that you need it to open, basically, in a nutshell. Next, we've got our little walkie gate, pedestrian gate operator, if you like. It's quite compact. It's very easy to install with its little articulated arm. There's no welding required. You can bolt all that in. Regarding pricing, so another good question we've got here. If you speak to Jersey and the team at Digital Home Systems, they'll be able to assist you in regarding pricing for these. And like I said, all these are available here in Australia. So talking about the walkie, 1.8 metre gate leaf, very compact, 90 millimetres, and it is quite quick. You do have the option as well for a light. You can see there on top as an example, and can be configured in either just a single leaf or dual leaf setup. And there's a bit of a limit, installation limits, I guess, 1.8 metres up to about 100 kilo gate leafs. And we strongly recommend that we don't use these on a vehicular gate leaf. And just a sample wiring diagram of the walkie, using obviously the BlueBus as well. So we've got 3 wires connection for this particular motor. One thing to remember as well, which I should have mentioned before, with the tuners, it does require 4 wires from the control board to the motor, just due to the fact that it does have the encoder as well as obviously the power. Next, we move on to our bigger motor in the articulated range called the HOP. It does up to 2.4 metres. It's ideal for large columns just due to the articulation. Again, just gets bolted on, so no need for welding. It is also quite compact, easy release. You can see on the front of the motor there's a little circular position that enables you to disengage the gearbox to manually open the gate. You've got optional battery backup, and as with most of our systems, Salemio or solar compatible, Avera, and BlueBus. Comes in 2 versions, single leaf or the option of a secondary motor for a slave, which has no controller, obviously. So next run, we move up to our bigger brother to the hop, if you like, called the hike. It does up to a 3.5 metre gate. This comes in 4 different versions. You've got the hike 7024 with the master unit control, and we have a high speed version of it as well. And then we've got the slave in both the standard and high speed. And once again, the enabling to disengage and manually release the gate. So moving on to our slide gate solutions. Starting with a ROBUS range. So these come in 3 different sizes, the 400, 600 and 1000. Easily referred to by the kilogram or a limit, if you like, or 400, 600 and 1000 kilo limits. These all have an inbuilt control unit. Again, easy diagnostics on the control unit via the flashing LEDs, and a little aluminium hand lock release. Again, making sure that we're able to open those gates in case of power failure. And we have the battery backup. The good thing about these models is that all units utilize one control unit, so that we don't have the need to stock various control units. The RB500 high speed. This is our most popular and biggest selling motor, particularly here in Australia, in the fact that it is quite fast at 0.44 meters per second, so almost half a meter per second. Good for quite a variety of gates, up to 8 meters. So we'll do your domestic and your light commercial applications as well. Again, solar, solar, Apera, and you, of course, BlueBus, and the battery backup as an option. This is a typical setup of the robust control board. You can see the pins on the left-hand side there as well, so it makes it very, very easy to replace or remove. So same as the terminals, if you need to replace any of the terminals or wiring, makes it very easy just to be able to unplug and replug. Moving on to our remote controls. So we do have quite a wide range. These are our most popular for hopefully an obvious reason, very colourful range. We have 6 different colours from yellow, black, lilac, blue, red and green. Come in both single and dual or 2-channel. Next, we have what we call the Inti kit. So the benefit of this is comes in a box, 3 remotes, and a universal receiver. This allows you to then be able to wire in these receivers into any third-party operator. So whether it be a gate motor or a garage door, it allows us then to utilize the remotes on those third-party operators, as well as a nice motor. Some of the new systems that we've got coming out is all bi-directional moving forward. So you can see there OXI bidding. So on one of the previous slides, you saw a slot on our control boards for a plug-in receiver. So these just plug in, no need for wiring. They're bi-directional now. So there are remotes available, which I'll touch on in a second. We also have our LoRa range. So LoRa is our long-range remote controls. Can be done up to 1 kilometre range. One thing that we do strongly recommend, of course, is that whenever you're not in line of sight operating a gate, that you put some sort of safety device, so whether it be a photo cell, a safety edge strip, or an induction loop, something like that. Just you never know if you could have kids running around or pets. You don't want them to get hit, or even another car. So the new solutions regarding the bi-directional. The wonderful thing about these is it's a 3-channel with a status button. So what that status button does is allows you to get a feedback from the gate. So yes, the gate has actually received, and you'll get a small vibration back from the remote. Also, you'll see on the top left of the remote there's a little LED light. So green light means it's open. Orange, obviously, it's partially open, and red for the gate is closed. There's also technology under development regarding battery status of the remote as well. So that will be done via a dedicated website. So Wi-Fi, some of the biggest, obviously, the technology that we're coming through. Easy installation using a bus T4, as I touched on before. It's just our proprietary communications protocol, if you like, or just plugs straight into the control unit via the IBT4N module. So it's very simple to use, very compact, so will fit inside the actual control unit itself. With the apps, we have two different types of apps. We've got the My Nice Welcome HK, which works in with the Apple HomeKit. We are one of the very few manufacturers that are actually certified, so it works straight in with the Apple HomeKit, as well as the standard My Nice Welcome app, which can be used by Android or a mix of both Android and iOS. And is also compatible with the IFTTT web platform. To check that out, just simply go to ifttt.com/nice. So that way you can set up different times, scenarios, geofencing, and a whole range of different scenarios, as I previously mentioned. The Overview, the handheld programmer. So basically, this is every installer's should be in every installer's toolbox. So it allows you to set more advanced parameters, if you like, within the control unit and moving into those secondary level programming setups. And it fits in the palm of your hand, just plugs straight into the control board via the bus T4 connection and the IBT4N module. And you can get a whole range of statuses. You can actually operate the gate with it as well. So if you're just testing where it's at, testing the install, if you like, setting of the input and output configurations. So as an example, might have multiple photo cells. You could have two sets of photo cells for safety and a set of photo cells for auto close, if you like, or auto open. You just need to address them, and that's all done through the Overview. It also allows you to download a small number of events. So if there's been any errors or anything like that, you'll be able to determine exactly what has been the cause and help you to fix it, obviously. As I just touched on with the apps, dedicated to the end user, My Nice Welcome and My Nice World apps allow the remote management of the automation both locally and remotely. Once again, as I mentioned, same as the long-range remotes, if you are going to operate or plan on operating things remotely, that we have some sort of safety device. So using the photo cells is probably the easiest solution. So moving forward, some of the new technology that will be available in the second half of this year will be, I suppose, an app that will work in conjunction or even replace the handheld programmer, the Overview. So this will allow you to set up the gate via an app on your phone. You'll be able to save all the settings and upgrade any firmware quite easily. The biggest thing is if you've got any technical issues, the gate's being stubborn, you can't quite work out what's causing the gate to operate in a certain way, you can contact our tech support team and they'll be able to help you straight away. You email off the settings of the gate, they'll be able to have a look at it all and contact you by the phone to say, hey, you need to change this setting, or even email you the settings back to you with an updated version of what might be the solution. So that's just some of the things that we'll be able to do moving forward. This is all done using the little module here, the toolbox, if you like. So again, plugging that into the control unit on the operator and operating via Wi-Fi. This will, some of the good things is as well, enable you to obviously keep track of what's been installed, where you've installed it. You can keep it under certain addresses, etc. And a customer rings you up, wants a new remote, you'll be able to program a remote fairly remotely, send it out, and the remote should be able to work straight away. So these are some of the technologies that we've got coming through in the back end of this year. And of course, you've got the Fibaro range of items. I will, on that note, pretty much pass you on back to Jersey to discuss the Home Center 3. But talking about integrated building management, all of our operators will quite easily work in with pretty much any type of building management system, if you like. So whether it be just a CBus or Fibaro, hopefully Fibaro will work in most protocols. You can see there the building in Spain where we've got quite a number of blind motors, if you like, all integrated through into the building management system. So based on all that, I thank you very much for your time. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've got a few more questions for me that we can move forward. If you do, please drop a line to the guys at Digital Home Systems and we'll be able to help you a bit further with that. So again, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks very much and stay safe. Thanks. Yeah, so as I mentioned, particularly the RB500 is one of our biggest sellers here in Australia. So all these products are definitely available here through yourselves, of course.
Yes, just to let people from our installers group, yes, we do have all these products available for you, and yes, we have very competitive pricing, particularly for our DHS installers. If you're interested in any of those excellent, nice gate systems, just give us a call, contact us on an email. We'll talk to you about what are in details, what you may need on your particular project. We'll help you pretty much from technical support, pre-sale perspective, and we'll also provide you a quote with good competitive prices for you. That's all obviously covered more in my little presentation about Home Center 3, Fibaro Home Center 3. However, at this point of time, I'll just say yes, you can use nice gate systems as a standalone subsystems on your projects, and this is absolutely great idea. There's a lot of possibilities to control it remotely via nice existing remote interfaces, as well as you can add dry contact control to those motors, to these gate systems. So you can hook it in with Fibaro, you can connect other smart home gateways using dry contact method. Or if you want to have everything more integrated, just wait for release of Home Center 3, Fibaro Home Center 3, and support provided for specifically nice systems. This support is coming late this year, so stay tuned. You will have everything in one system. Again, I would like to thank you very much for the very good and informative presentation. We will definitely contact you more when we have more questions, more technical questions, more product-related questions. And talking about questions, everyone who is watching this video, this webinar, and have any questions, please type your questions in the comment field just under the video. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.